Good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, January 14th. This seems like a good time for a call. Seems like people are a little more free on the weekend. So I'm really excited to share the information I have today. I think that so often people look at like an elite coach or a premier coach and think it's so far off. And it really isn't. And even this year, they sort of changed essentially what was happening was people that were going for elite were complaining that it was only recruiting coaches, which, you know, when we talk about the heart of our business, it's fitness, right? And so people had felt sort of torn, like, well, do I really serve my customers or do I go for elite? So Beachbody perked up their ears and they listened. And so there is a new category this year that is all for customers. And it makes the other categories all a little bit less. And so like, as I was reading through the new document and looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so simple. Like, it is really, really straightforward. And what I want to do today is sort of take the goal guide, break it down into what you actually have to do and give you the steps for each month, because it's just really, really doable. It's not easy, but it's simple. And I think that taking it and really breaking it down is actually going to make it feel like it's achievable instead of like, oh, this far off thing, like only fancy people hit it, because we all know me, I'm not fancy. And we as a team did that. So it's really, really exciting. And let me share my screen real quick. Okay, can you guys see that? So Premiere and Elite, we're going to go through what each of them means. Essentially, Premiere and Elite, they need the same amount of points. It's just a different rank. So to hit Premiere, you only have to be a 2-star coach by the end of the year, which is like fine. To be Elite, 5-star. The points are the same though. So yeah, so it depends on what your goal is rank-wise. But they're, what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. Anywho, so what I want to do is, before we go into all the math and the numbers and like that, I totally geek out on that stuff. I really like it. I like figuring it out. But if you're not a numbers person, that's totally okay. This will just give you kind of like a broad sense of like, okay, what your goals numbers wise need to be per month, just so you can kind of keep going. And then you don't have to worry about the intricate math. So I think I was kind of thinking about like our team and like the vision we're going towards as a team. And I kind of was like, I feel like we're just not setting big enough goals, myself included. And the problem with saying you're going to hit Success Club every month, which is great, that's a good goal, it's just not big enough and it's not motivating enough. So to say, I'm going to go for Success Club 5 every month and maybe make $150, like that's not enough for me to like have a fire in my soul to be like, ah! And I don't think that it's enough for the people who want to really build a business and who want to really build a life and make an impact. It's just, we're robbing people of being better ourselves when we don't have bigger goals. So if you're someone who your bare minimum, or you think it's a big goal to be hitting Success Club every month, I want to really challenge you to think way, way, way bigger. And I think that Premiere and Elite give you an end point, because we have to have an actual goal, right? We can't just say, well, I want to make 6 figures. That's not, it doesn't have a date, it doesn't have a timeline, and you don't have the to-dos. And so what I love about Elite and Premiere is it gives you specifically what to do and how to do it, and you can mark it off and track it per month. So even if you're like, I don't care about being elite, these are rules, not rules, that sounds like rules. These are really great guidelines for you to live by. So I want you, before we like get into the math and the numbers, I don't know if it's important to you or not, but I want you to sort of think about what that would be like, you know, especially if you've been to Summit, you see all the perks and all the fancy stuff, especially if you're a red. I was really driven by that. Like, I was like, I want to get the sweatshirt. Like, I totally did Elite for the sweatshirt, which is like silly, but it like totally motivated me. And, but like, if you're a blue, that means you're helping your team. Like, so just really kind of like go, like if you have just like a minute, I'll just give you guys like 30 seconds of quiet time. Like, just close your eyes and envision, like Beachbody makes it a really, really big deal to be elite. And I want you to like picture yourself up on that stage walking across as elite, or picture what it would feel like to have that kind of a team come with you to Summit. So just take a minute and just sort of like dream really big and think about what that would feel like. So just, here we go, quiet time. And I hope it makes you smile. It makes me smile. Cool.
Well, aren't they calling for like snow on Monday or something too?
You know me, will you mute? Let me see if I can mute everybody. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
No.
Oh my god.
Hey, Naomi, do you mind muting yourself, sweetness?
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh, that's okay. Let me see if I can mute everybody. I totally ruined the silent moment. Where do I do that? More. Audio. I don't know. Okay, so hopefully you had a little bit of time. Something I did when I was pushing for Elite was I printed off this little emblem of Elite. If you Google it under images, you can find this Team Beachbody Elite, and I put it like in my car. I put it on my mirror. I put it in my office. I put it on the top of my computer because it was constantly reminding me like that's something I want. Like, or I would write it, I am a 2016 Elite coach. I am, over and over and starting to visualize that because the mindset is truly where it starts. If you don't think you're capable of doing it, or you don't have that like deep-rooted desire, it's just not going to come to fruition. Okay, so let's get into what it means, the logistics. So your sort of roles as a Premiere or Elite coach, they're basically to earn Success Club, recruit people, and teach them how to do it. Like that is the very, very like simplest way to put it, and truly like how most coaches, that's how they think of it. It's not, all these specific things. But I'm going to give you that too, because if you are a numbers person, you need to see that. But basically, if you are doing what you need to do every month, hitting Success Club in your own business, non-negotiable, never ever missing it, then you recruit a few coaches that you're signing personally into your business every single month. You duplicate yourself. So you're teaching them how to hit Success Club. You're working with them. You're helping them with conversations. You're getting in there, tracking their goals, helping them. And they're hitting Success Club. That is how you hit Elite. So very, very simple. But it doesn't happen if those things don't happen every month and they're not a priority. So again, it's not easy to do, but it's very simple if you are consistent. So you're hitting Success Club, non-negotiable, 12 months. We're all going to be Success Club All-Stars this year. That's a really great goal to go for. Then you're recruiting a few coaches per month, and I'm going to show you guys the numbers and how simple it really is. You're recruiting a few coaches per month. You're going to help your coaches hit it, and then you do it all over again the next month. It's really that simple. So let's talk about your Success Club base. So this is the number. So basically the first category is how many coaches you personally enroll that are hitting Success Club. So you're going to make, and I've got a little to do at the end, but you're going to make a list of your 2016 coaches, and then the coaches that you're going to enroll in 2017. Those are the people that count towards Elite for your points. So every time that they hit Success Club, you get a point, and every time you hit Success Club, you get to double those points. So that's why you can't ever miss Success Club, because you get twice as many points in that category. So it's really cool. So basically how you calculate your Success Club base is how many coaches are hitting it per month. So like say you had 4 coaches from 2016 that hit it, and then 2 from 2017, that would be 4 plus 2, that'd be 6. And what you end up doing throughout the year is taking that number per month. So say you had 6 in January, 4 in February, 9 in March, you take those numbers and divide it by how many months, and that's kind of your Success Club base. It's not that important, but over the long term of the year, you want to say, okay, my Success Club base was over 5. So you want to have 5 coaches, or whatever, how many your number is. So that's basically the Success Club base, is how many coaches you have per month that are your 2016 and 2017 coaches. So, and your older coaches, if you've been in the business longer, they do come into play, but it's, for Success Club, it's only counting those brand new coaches. Does that make sense? Cool so far? So that's the first one. And here's some case studies. So this is what's really cool. Out of the top 200 people in the company, their Success Club base was 4 coaches per month hitting Success Club. So not crazy, right? And then the new coaches that are hitting it, so say they're bringing in someone in January, those people that are hitting Success Club either in January, February, they were having about two of them per month. So as they're adding people, they're teaching them right away, and they're having not good luck, but they're having consistency in teaching those new people how to hit Success Club. The top 50, they had a Success Club base of 9 coaches per month, and about 7 of them were brand new. That just kind of gives you a little bit of a number. Like, to be in the top 200, you have to have 4 of your coaches hitting Success Club per month. Like, not crazy. It's not like, you have to have 30, you have to recruit 30 coaches a month and have 50 coaches hit Success Club. Like, it's very simple. So you want to always be trying to increase your Success Club base. So maybe in January, if you have one coach that counts that hits it, in February, you want to be going for 2, March 3, and the goal guide will help you kind of do that. So setting your Success Club base for 2017, and I'll show you guys the goal guide. You can basically put in your goal for each month. So the bare minimum goal is 3 coaches per month that you want hitting Success Club. Now you can make up for this, like say you're like, okay, like I didn't know I was going to go for elite and today's January 14th. So you're going to spend the rest of this month recruiting some coaches. And then maybe you don't have anybody in January, but you have 5 in February or whatever it is. So you can kind of make up for that. So this is the cool part is if you increase your goal for your Success Club base every month, by the end of the year, you'll have 13 coaches in your downline, in your personally sponsored downline hitting Success Club. Can you imagine what that does for your volume? And for those people that you brought in that you said, I'm going to teach you how to grow a business and I'm going to help you actually earn money, and they're making their money back on Shakeology. They're starting to grow a business. They're growing confidence and your team is expanding. If you have 13 people that personally sponsored by you that are hitting Success Club, like that's the start to a major business. And that's what I love about this is because it's numbers based, you can see, okay, by this and this and this is how your volume accumulates. Okay, so strengthening your Success Club base because we want to create that culture. So it's really important to talk to your coaches when they're coming in, saying like, this is what we do, this is how we do it, teaching them and creating this culture that Success Club matters. And I think we really do a good job of that in our team page, but I think it takes personal details. So Brian Jackson putting up the Success Club boards every week, if your coaches are on them, you need to be doing something to personally recognize them or give them a prize or do something, because the recognition is such a key piece of that. You can do incentives, like people love t-shirts or a water bottle or something fun. And that's something I'm going to start working on myself too, is creating these incentives for your coaches. But I think that you can't just rely on me or our team page to do that. You've got to be cultivating that within your team culture as you add builder coaches. And as you start doing that, you personally incentivizing them. It doesn't mean you have to spend thousands of dollars. It doesn't even mean you have to, like, it could be a $10 Starbucks card. But if that person hits Success Club that month, that is growing your business. So you're investing in cultivating that within your people and being a leader for them. So basically, when you're bringing in a new coach, you're talking about the importance of Success Club, because that is the only thing. Like when someone signs up, they just want to make their money right back, right? And the way they do that is Success Club. So that's what you're talking about on a new coach call is Success Club, Coach Basics. That's pretty much it. You're not talking diamond. You're not talking emerald. You're not talking, like, you're not making it complicated. You're just saying all you're going to do this month now is help 2 people, because with the $100 or with the $200 pack, it's 3 points. So all they have to do is help 2 people get started. They make $140. Boom, they make their money back. And then they start hitting Success Club. You can talk about success starters so they can earn their ticket to Summit. And then whenever there's a team cup, you're going to be, the people that you're enrolling, you're on a team with them. You're not looking for cross-line coaches. You're taking your downline and creating a plan for a team cup that's going to grow your business and grow your volume. So that's like sort of the how-to piece. And like that could go on and on and on and on, but you have to start practicing this, and you have to start using the language with your team and the people that you personally bring onto the business, and you can't prejudge them. Everyone wants to make their money back. Everybody wants to break even on their pack. So it's really like, it's just talking to them like it's a normal thing. Like it's not sugarcoating it. It's not, oh, if you want to maybe do this. It's like, this is what we do. This is how you grow your business. If you want to grow your business, these are the things I need to see you doing, and this is how we do it. Cool. So that's Success Club. So basically you're focusing on new coach enrollments. Then we can talk a little bit about this later, but the rank, whether you're going for elite, which is 5-star, or Premiere, which is 2-star, your team volume, and your Success Club base. Those are kind of like the basics. Okay, so here are the 4 ways to earn Success Club, or to earn elite points. So you have a total of 135 points, and they're broken up into categories. And I have a short video. So we're kind of like, we're going to go over this and we're going to go over it again, and then the video goes over it again, because it's, to me, the first time I went over it, I was like, oh, this is weird. But I think visually, you guys, if you can, not if you can, do print out the elite goal guide. Like I have this in my office so that I can kind of keep track as I go, and there's a little calendar. So here's the first one. This is category 1 is the elite Success Club points. So that's what we just talked about. So for every 2016 and 2017 personally sponsored coach that hit Success Club, you get a point. Then when you hit Success Club, which is a non-negotiable, you're earning 2 points. So say in January you had 3 coaches hit Success Club and you hit it yourself. That would be 3 points for each coach, or 1 point for each coach, so 3 points times 2 because you hit Success Club. That'd be a total of 6 points. So you can see how those add up. Those are pretty simple, the Success Club. So you want to have at least 3 to 5 coaches a month hitting that. The second one is personal volume, is PSPV, so personal volume of your personally sponsored coaches. So this category is only your 2017 coaches, so your brand new coaches, everyone from January until the end of 2017. So what happens is every time that they accumulate 500 PV, so personal volume, so they're selling a challenge pack, because we want to be focusing on Success Club, not necessarily even adding coaches yet, just hitting Success Club. So for every 500 points that they accumulate, you get 1 point. So say they bought an all access challenge pack, that's 180 PV. And then say they sold 2 more all access challenge packs, that's another 360. So you'd go, what is the math? 360 plus 180. What is that, you guys? Let me do the math real quick. So that would be 540 points. So that would be 1 point. Does that make sense? So it can be anything that they personally buy. If they buy 3 bags of Shakeology, that counts. If they sell 3 bags of Shakeology, that counts. For every 500 points, you get 1 point. Cool? So if you're adding 3 to 5 coaches a month, that will take care of that category. You don't even have to do the math or worry about it, which is not crazy. So to hit elite, you're telling me I can have 3 coaches a month and hit elite? Cool. Like, sign me up for that. I think so many people think, oh, I have to be adding 20 to 30 coaches a month. Not true. So go for a higher end goal, especially at the beginning of the year, because that's going to accumulate faster. So makes sense? Any questions on that so far? PSPV, personally sponsored personal volume of your 2017 coaches. Okay, number 3. This is my favorite. This is the new one. So this is your customer PV, CPV. So this was not on the charts before when I hit elite or any other time, but the coaches asked for it because there is value in keeping a customer where they want to be. If they want to stay enrolled in Shakeology, get their 10% off on the club membership, and they don't want to upgrade to be a coach or be a discount buyer, they don't have to anymore. And it's truly kind of a wash, because with their on-demand subscription and their discount on Shakeology, they're kind of paying the same as they would pay if they had the coach fee and the discount. So I like this because a lot of times, I don't want to say I forced people, but I really pushed, like, well, let's do the discount because it's cheaper for you, because I needed those like personal volume points, right? But this way you can leave them where they are because they're happy. It's better to leave that, like if they just want to be a customer and they don't want to be a discount coach or they don't want to be in the team page, it's better off to just leave them and let them continue to order their Shakeology. Plus you get a really nice commission on that. And that's really where that foundation is built, is within your customers. And then if you're really looking for people who would make a great coach, then you can ask them. But it takes out that sort of, I don't want to say ick factor, but like we always try to get people to be coached to discount, but you really don't have to anymore with this category. So it's only your 2017 customers. So we're starting fresh. It's January. So you make a list of your 2017 people, and it's the same principle. So every 500 PV that they generate, you get 1 point for. So let's say they order their all access pass, which is 180, and then all year long they get Shakeology, you would add all that up. And it doesn't have to be from each customer. It's a cumulative. So say you have 10 customers within 2 months, all their PV gets added together and gets divided by 500, and that's how you get the points. Cool. So you want to be, same thing, 3 to 5 customers per month, 3 to 5 coaches per month. That's how you add that up. Okay. Then advancement team volume, and I won't go too much into this. Most of you guys are starting with lower, because a lot of you guys are newer, lower team volume, which is actually really good for hitting elite, because you have less, basically you have to have ATV, which is your accumulative team volume, or your right and your left side, everything in your downline, that's people's PV, and their TV, which is team volume, all of that volume, everything from your downline. gets added up and you get points for how much you get over what you did last year. So if you're starting out with not that much ATV, it's easier and easier because maybe by March you hit where you were last year. If you're really growing your business, you're adding customers, adding coaches, you're going to surpass that volume from last year sooner. So like me, it's really hard because I've done this for 7 years. So my volume is so high that I don't even surpass it until like November. And then it's kind of like, I got to do a lot of volume then. Does that make sense? So this category is really hard to do the math on. I wouldn't worry about it. If you're hitting Success Club, adding coaches and adding customers, this is kind of going to take care of itself. But basically you need 10,000 points, or you have 10,000 ATV over where you were for each point, and you want to get 10 points. So that means if you increase your ATV by 100,000, that means you're going to start making some serious, like residual, like really consistent income if you're going for team volume, right? Because that's where we make the bulk of our income, is from the team volume. So that one to me is a little abstract, so don't worry about that one for now. But just know that basically you're trying to get the volume over where you were last year. Okay, so for Elite, obviously you need to be a paid 5-star by December 28th. So a paid 5-star means you've gone through the 6 weeks of qualification. So you start, if you're a diamond, the day you go diamond, you become diamond, boom, your lifetime diamond. With the star diamond ranks, you have to hold that rank for 6 weeks before you're actually that rank. So you need to start qualification sometime in November. You need to have at least 2 of your personally sponsored coaches advance to diamond. So like for me, if I'm already starting, like I'm already starting at 6-star, I need to end the year at 8-star. So it doesn't let the people off the hook who are already 5-star. So if you're diamond, you've got to get 5 people to diamond throughout the year and then earn the 135 points. So basically, if you're following this formula and tracking it, Elite will truly fall into place, and then it's just working with your coaches to get them to the rank that they need to be. So again, you're earning Success Club every single month, and you get to double your points for every coach that hit Success Club from 2016 and 17. So you get double points in that category. You recruit and sign new coaches every single month. And then you recruit new customers every single month. That's the CPV, and then you duplicate yourself and teach your coaches how to hit Success Club. Okay, so before I take any questions, I'm gonna play this video again, and he kind of reiterates what I just said. If you want to print the goal guide, this little thing, it's FAQ 2988, and all this information is back there. How to use the goal tracker. Oh, I wanted to show you guys too. See if it's up here. There's a printable, not printable. There's this, what is this called? Not Word, Excel spreadsheet that's really cool that helps you track. So for each month, so you're looking at category 1, Success Club points. So 1 point for each 2016, 2017 coach who qualifies for Success Club. So I would go to this category and I'd say, okay, this month I had 3 people qualify for Success Club. And then it says, will you be in Success Club? Yes or no? Yes, I already hit it. Then category 2, PSPV. So how many coaches have you recruited this month? So new coaches in 2017. So for me, so far I've recruited 3 coaches. And then you can kind of approximate your PV from all your coaches. For me, I think one upgraded, so that was not 2 of them upgraded, so that was 180, and then 1 bought an all access pack, so that would be 360 points. So I don't quite have a point there yet because it's not 500. Then category 3, how many customers have you enrolled so far in 2017? So I've enrolled 7 customers in 2017, and I would say they're all access, so I would say whatever that is, 180 times 7 would be, I don't know, something. Say it's 600 points. So then it actually does the math for you here. So it adds it up all at the bottom. So it tells you, okay, in the Success Club category, you have 6. PSPV, I have 0 because I haven't gotten to 500 yet. And then in the CPV, in the customer PV, I've gotten 1 point. So that's a really cool way to track it, because then you can kind of see where you're at. Like, okay, by June I have this, so I have to go this far. And I can help you guys work throughout the year and like really setting goals. But this is really super helpful. Let me see, there's something in the chat box. Yeah, the FAQ. So let me get back to where I was. It's FAQ 2988, honey, and you can print this, all this stuff, and there's that Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so let's watch this video. Here we go. Oh, maybe I have to hit play. Hold on. Whoever's vacuuming, do you mind if you would mute yourself, pretty please? Okay. My computer's being slow. Hello. Hold on. Sorry.
Hey coaches, Kim Carver here with Team Beachbody. This is just a quick training on the 2017 Elite Goal Guide, including a quick review on the updates to the 2017 Elite program. So we're going to start off right away with looking at the 2017 Elite qualifications. All the details for these can be found on FAQ 2988. That's kind of the definitive source for this information. But for 2017, they're the exact same requirements as 2016, right? There's 3 things you got to do to be an elite coach. You have to be a paid 5-star diamond, at least 1 bonus week in December. 2017, you have to have at least 2 Percy-sponsored coaches that you have helped reach the rank of diamond for the first time in 2017. It doesn't matter when they enrolled with you, but for the very first time they've reached diamond in 2017, and that they're also paid diamonds in December as well. And then the third requirement is to have earned during the year 135 elite points. And that's really what this training is about, is how you game plan around getting those 135 points. Now, this year, unlike 2016, unlike the previous years, there are now 4 categories that earn elite points for you, all right? And the goal guide goes through, creates a framework, is a better way of saying it, to help you have that roadmap to make sure that you are paying attention to each one of these areas so that you end the year with those 135 elite points. As we look at these 4 elite point categories, they're on the left right there. Let's do a quick review of what those are and how you earn them. We'll start with elite SC points. Who creates those elite points for you? Well, it's your coaches that enrolled in 2016 and 2017. When one of those coaches in any given month qualifies for Success Club, that generates 1 elite club point for you. Those elite points, again, double when you're also in Success Club that month. Elite PSPB points, again, the same as previous years. It just counts your current year new coach enrollments. So in this case, new coach enrollments that you have from 2017. And it looks at their PV, right? Their personal volume. And what the computer does is it looks at every single coach that you've enrolled as a coach in 2017, and it looks at their PV totals for each month, and then it divides it by 500. And each increment of 500 that's been combined from all of those coaches gives you 1 elite point. Coaches earn PV or generate PV from their own purchases as well as from the purchases of their retail or club customers. And that's an important distinction I want to make for a reason in just a second here. Now let's go on to the new category, Elite CPV, where it's just like PSPV. But in this category, instead of looking at your 2017 coaches, it looks at your 2017 personal customers, all right? But it uses the same formula. It gives you 1 point for every 500 PV from all of your 2017 personal customers. Now, again, I'm going to make this distinction. PV is generated by the customer's purchase. So customer, again, they don't enroll other customers. They don't sign up other customers. And so the only way the customers generate PV is from their own purchases. Now, here's the point I want to make. If you enroll someone as a discount coach, and in your mind you're thinking, well, they're a customer. Well, according to the computer system, they've enrolled as a coach, which means the PV would fall under the PSPV category. It wouldn't fall under the CPV category. It's really just a best practice to enroll customers as customers and enroll coaches as coaches. But especially for this distinction, you're going to want to make sure that you keep that in mind. So the last category is Elite ATV. And again, that looks at all the combined team volume from the entire year from your first 3 coaching levels. For every increase from 2016 to 2017 of 10,000 points, you get 1 elite point. All right. And I think that everyone kind of understands what that is. I'll go over again in just a minute here. A key strategy, okay, that a lot of coaches fall, that most coaches fall to reaching those 135 elite points, is to really focus on maxing out certain categories and then making sure they just have the minimum needed points for ATV. Because ATV can be kind of a tricky one to track and to figure out how to move. So for 2017, the max allowed from CPV is 25 points. PSPV and SC went down from 61 to 50 this year, okay? So if you max out those two, 50 plus 50 plus 25 is 125 points, meaning you would need at least 10 points in the ATV category in order to have the 135 elite points according to the strategy, all right? Because usually as you focus on maxing out those 3 categories, it's best way to move actually that ATV number as well for you. Okay. So when we jump into Elite Goal Guide here, we look at that first category. What we want to do is first kind of estimate how many new coaches we're going to have every single year, every single month of the year, right? And then we're going to make a commitment. You'll make a commitment yourself to be in Success Club. So that means that every one of those coaches from 2016, 2017, each one gives me 1 elite point. Since I'm going to be in Success Club, those points double. So for example, in this case, the month of January, I'm going to have at least 2 coaches from 2016, 2017 in Success Club. Since I'm also going to be in Success Club, that will give me 4 elite points. And then you're just going to go through the whole year and total all of that up. And you're going to do the same thing. Again, you're estimating this year. You're creating this roadmap for yourself so that you can follow it and make adjustments as the year goes on based on where you're pacing. Total up all those elite SC points across the bottom there. And that will give you kind of what you're projecting to end the year at in this category. And again, the strategy we just talked about was to make sure you max out the points in this category. The maximum points allowed towards your 135 points in this category are 50. So make sure that orange box has at least 50 in it. Go on to the second category, Elite PSPV. Again, this is that personal volume for my personally sponsored coaches who enrolled in 2017. For every increment of total combined AT from all those groups, every increment of 500 points gives me 1 elite point. So let's say I'm going to start by estimating the number of new coaches I'm going to have coming in every single month. And then I'm going to start estimating the number of PV that's going to be generated from them. And so I'm going to look at that. Maybe I'm going to create a game plan where I'm going to say, look, I'm going to enroll at least 2 new coaches every single month. And as I look at that and I look at previous month's coaches that are continuing to contribute to my the total PV amount each month, I'm going to estimate this amount. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So here's how I would approach it. I would look and say, all right, well, I know that typically when coaches come in, they're going to enroll with this challenge pack. Maybe you say, look, in 2017, everyone's going to come in these first couple months with this all access challenge pack. And I know what that PV is. Or maybe you say they're going to come in at the $160 challenge pack range, whatever it happens to be. You look at that. But important thing you need to know is starting in February, or maybe even in January, but at least in February, you also have coaches from previous months who are continuing to make purchases, buying Shakeology, and they're also starting to help their own customers get started in challenge groups. All of that contributes to that PV number. Again, the goal is at the end of the year to max out this category with at least 50 points. This one will probably be the one where you have to wrap your head around it the most. All right, so be patient with yourself on this and realize that, again, we're just estimating here. We're trying to create a roadmap to create benchmarks for ourselves to follow. But once you understand this, the next category becomes a little bit easier, all right, which is our customer PV, the CPV points, because it's the exact same thing, except instead of looking at our coaches from 2017, now we're going to look at our customers who sign up with us. And we're going to look and say, estimate how many new customers we'll have every single month, and then how much PV we'll think will be generated. In the same way as we go through the year, right? Customers from previous months, as they come back and they purchase from us, that also contributes to that PV total. And so you're going to be looking at how many new customers am I going to have this month versus and how many customers am I going to retain from previous months, and what do I think that PV will look like, and just get an estimate number. Again, what we want to do is the strategy here is to make sure we end the year with at least 25 points in this category in that little orange box right there. All right. So again, that strategy, max out those first 3 categories, which means we need at least 10 points in ATV. And if we get 1 point for every 10,000 point increment, that means we need a total increase in 2017 of 100,000 points in our ATV over 2016. All right. So the 4th category of the Elite Goal Guide helps you do this. At the end of the year, you're going to get a final Elite report for 2016. It will have your final year in ATV. That doesn't include any of the boosted points you may have qualified for. It will have your year in 2016 ATV. And then you're going to look at 2017 on the goal guide here, and you're going to say, okay, well, what do I think my ATV goal should be for this year? And in this case, I'm going to say I'm going to go to 200,000. That's my goal, which is an increase of 160,000 over my previous year, generating 16 points for me. One thing I like to point out about ATV, a sound strategy is really not to pay much attention to this until June, July-ish of the year. Give yourself half a year before you really start trying to pace and track where this is going to end up for you, because it is a hard number to track. It's a hard number to wrap your head around how to impact. And honestly, the best thing that you can be doing to move this number is focusing on pushing for the maximum point categories that we talked about. Okay. The final part of the Elite Goal Guide now is the bottom part. At least 135 elite points. Whenever you add things up, don't make the mistake of adding that the point total that exceeds the maximum, just put the maximum number in here. For example, on my projected elite SC points, on the guide I had 62. Well, 50 points is the maximum allowed in that category, so I'd want to put 50 here as I do the math for that. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're all squared away on that one. Okay, the next step then is once you have that mapped out, now you're going to reverse engineer it and put that into a monthly game plan. Again, on the goal guide here, as you saw, we basically estimated that we're going to have between 2 and 3 coaches from 2016, 2017 reach Success Club in any given month. We're going to have at least 2 new coaches join our team every single month. Again, this is the examples that we're using, and 2 new customers sign up with me. So what am I, if that's what I know I need to do to have enough elite points by the end of the year, now the question is, what do my monthly activities need to look like to make those things happen? How am I going to leverage, Team Cup? How am I going to leverage Summit or product launches? How am I going to leverage these things as they come out? What's my game plan to make sure that I'm reaching or exceeding those numbers any given month? And that's really where the power of the goal guide kind of comes into play and allows you to stay on track and know really from January that you're on the right path to reaching the goal of elite by the end of the year, at least the points for elite. Now, one thing I want to talk about before we go is the elite ranking, because there have been some updates to this. Elite ranking, for those of you that are wondering how it works, basically it looks at your SC, PSPV, and your CPV, and it just takes the total points you've earned, so uncapped. So while there's maximums towards the 135, in terms of ranking, it doesn't apply those maximums. It just looks at the total points you've earned. All right, it adds those three categories together, and then you're ranked against other coaches based on those the total of those points. Some new things for this year is we've added what we're calling leadership development elite points, and these are not points that apply towards your 135 point elite requirement, but they do apply towards the ranking that you get in the elite program. How it works is you will earn 25 of these elite leadership development points for ranking every time you have a personally sponsored coach advance and rank from 1 star anywhere to 5 stars. So 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. It doesn't matter when they're enrolled, but when they hit those for the first time, you get 25 elite points. Now, if they jump ranks, you get all the points for the ranks that they jumped as well. If they come in and they go from 1 star to 4 star, then you get the 25 points from 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, that advance. You'll also earn 25 of these leadership development points that apply towards any time a PS coach you have reaches the rung of team leader on the leadership ladder for the very first time. Again, doesn't matter when they've enrolled with you. Make that advancement, you'll get 25 elite points. All right, you guys. So that's elite. That's the elite program. That's the elite goal guide. I hope this was helpful to you guys. Get out there this year. You've got this. Cool things coming in 2020. For our coaches, obviously, you guys get there and make this happen, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck, guys. Bye now.
Okay. I don't think I have. Oh, okay. So last thing I have. I don't know who's making all that ruckus. Okay, let me check the chat really quick. Okay, so Naomi said, what happens if they initially sign up as a customer and then become a coach halfway through the year? Would they count under both? No, so while they were a customer, they would count under the CPV for the customer volume. And then, Sarah, you can hold her. And then once they become a coach, they would switch and become PSPV, personally sponsored. But that's a great question. So technically, yes, they would count as both, but not at the same time. Okay. What other questions do you guys have? And then I'll show you the to-dos I have. Does it make sense? I know for me, it took, I like watched it and watched it and watched it and watched it, and then it started making sense. And I think the way, like, the clarity comes from engagement. So if you're like, okay, I know it's January. This is what I'm doing in January. My goal is this 5 coaches per month, and my goal is 3 customers per month, whatever it is. Then you mark them and tally them, and that's how you start learning how to add up the points. And I love how he said don't really worry about ATV until at least Summit, because there's no real way to track it. It's confusing and it's kind of daunting because you're looking at the whole year span instead of per month. What other questions do you guys have if you want to unmute yourself? And it might have just been me when I learned it. I was like, huh? But I think that the videos and the thing about the customer PV is there wasn't that category. There was only the 3 categories before, so you had to earn way more points in each category. But the customer category sort of takes the weight off of the other 2 of the Success Club and the PSPV, because you know how it said the maximum is 50? Before it had to be like almost 60, it was like 62 points. And so it was like you had to have significantly more people hitting Success Club, significantly more coaches, because you didn't have that customer PV to buffer it. And so, okay. Yeah. Do you want to, you can go ahead, honey. Success Club trips.
Well, I didn't want to take away in case someone
that's okay. That's okay.
I liked your video that you posted the other day, but Derek and I were talking about it, and he's like, I'm still confused because essentially, like, you can get on the wait list or you pay your $300, and then if you're hitting Success Club consistently throughout the year, essentially your trip is paid for. You just need to get yourself there, is kind of the understanding that I had.
Yep. And with the rules, even from this trip that we're about to go on now to next year's, have changed. So like for 18, I was kind of explaining the rules for next year, which was Elite, then Success Club All-Stars, then 5 stars, then All-Stars, that like, it was like down the road. And then it was by however many points you earned the year before. So it wasn't even like per quarter. But yeah, essentially you pay the $300 deposit and you don't get that back. So It's, obviously, but you're only paying that if you qualify. So you're able to go so you pay your $300. Then throughout the course of the year, your payments they're set up on quarterly payments. So they're like $400 a quarter. But when you hit Success Club every month, that takes care of that payment. Then if you're a Success Club All-Star, you get an extra travel cash. So it might even cover your flights.
Interesting.
It's a freaking cool way to go on a trip.
Yeah.
Because the trip is free. Now, yeah, you still have to get yourself there. Like we were looking at Punta Cana flights and they're not that cheap. And we're like, well, we're going to stay a couple extra days. But the fact that you can get room and board for 4 days for free and then get yourself, or if you get the travel cash, then a lot of times, not Punta Cana, but a lot of times the travel cash will cover your flight. So if it's $500, that'll cover that. Does that help more?
Yeah, that does help. I was just kind of like, this is confusing because like it explains it a little bit, but Derek was like, I'm still confused. And I was like, I'm confused too.
Maybe there's probably a video or an FAQ that would it shows the picture of how they're ranked and then who gets to go and how it kind of plays out. But Anne says for the cruise, one of our coaches got free drink hours for All-Star. Oh, cool. So they there was different perks. Okay, so then they got to drink for free. That's cool. Like you get the drink pass, or they have some different perks. So yeah, the trips are getting a little more stringent because more and more people are hitting Success Club, and since it's a Success Club trip, that's kind of in the title. But it's something to work for, and it's something to tell your coaches maybe your very first year in the business, you don't qualify for it, but it's something to work up to and say, I'm going to be a Success Club All-Star so that I can go on this trip and get it paid for. So it's it's a luxury. So yeah,
I guess my question is, do you need to be hitting Success Club 20 or do you just need to hit Success Club 5? I mean, I know
I don't
shoot for the sky, but what's the minimum that you need to be reaching?
It makes it easier if you're an elite coach, you get to sign up 10 days before everybody else. You get to pick your room, you get all this travel cash. So it's best to be elite, and then the next best is to be an all-star. So even if you don't hit 20 a month, if you're consistently hitting it for 2 years, that's where you're going to see the biggest perk. Then after that, it went, at least this year, it went 5-star and Success Club All-Star. But I mean, to answer your question, no, I don't think you need to be hitting 20 points a month, but I would go for 10 because it's getting a little more competitive. And but I had a friend who, I don't know, I looked at my total last year and it was something like 120 for the whole year. So some months I hit more, some months I hit less, some I hit 5, some I hit 20, So
okay.
That's a big question.
Hazel's yawning is so cute. She's got these big yellows happening. But no, that totally makes sense. Okay. I get it. Yeah, Derek and I were talking this morning even. He was like, do you think if you signed up to be a coach 5 years ago, it would have been easier? And I was like, probably, because it seems like there's a lot of people working from home nowadays doing stuff like this. So
I think yes and no, because in terms of coaching, yes, maybe, but no, because there weren't any resources. Like, I just feel like I'm getting my footing now because now there's all these resources and I can teach you guys the stuff. But before, I was freaking winging it. So, you know, yes and no. But then there's like people that think that about the wine company and they're leaving to sell wine. And it's like, maybe you still have to do the same amount of work, whether you're in on a company early or not. You still have to build a team. So I say no. I think
wine company, people are selling wine. Good Lord, there's
I love me some wine, but it sabotages my fitness goals. So no. Anne went on the cruise and she said they are so amazing, even if you take someone who's not a coach. But then he like got it. It's fun to take your spouse on these trips, you guys. If you have a spouse that's kind of like, what's this all about? Because they see the magic and they see the potential, and like it really brings it to life. When I took Brian, he was always like cool with it. He's like, do whatever, like live your dreams. But when we went on the trip, he's like, whoa, this is a real. Oh yeah, did he love it? Hazel's going on her first Success Club trip in a few months. So anyways, do you guys have any more questions about the math on the tracker? Does it seem like something like it's not as
Bye.
Hi, Joy. That's hey baby Hazel. Baby Hazel. Does the math make sense? Is it just me that was really dense that didn't quite get it? Where's your pacifier? What would help? Oh, there it is. What would help you guys? What do you need? The goal guide Hazel. It's a cruel game we play with the pacifier. If you can see this, the goal guide, it sets it up for you like he showed in the video, what's going to do it. So it's like 2 or 3 coaches hitting Success Club, adding 2 coaches per month, and adding 2 customers per month.
That's what I like how they broke it down. So it's like simplified terms. Look, if you want to hit this, then just do these simple terms, and not like simple. I know it's not easy, but I mean, like, I like how they broke it down like 3 to 5 coaches and 3 to 5 customers. So I'm like, okay, check. Because all those numbers, like, even though I like seeing the number breakdown, it's very overwhelming for me.
But even on here, it's even lower than what he said. So they're basically saying 2 coaches per month, 2 customers per month.
I love the Excel idea. I'm not good with Excel, but if I can put in, as I go throughout the month and put in my numbers and it shows me and breaks it down, awesome.
And I think that it's just a tangible way to say I'm going to grow my business. Whether or not Elite or Premiere is important, tracking that and saying I'm actually getting people that are my personally sponsored coaches hitting Success Club is what it's all about, because you're actually helping them find success, So yeah, I think it's actually, and this year is the year I went for. I mean, it was not easy, but having that goal to do it, like going throughout the year with this common, like, I'm going to hit this, I'm going to do this, this is how I'm going to do it, and having a plan really drove. It's like why we grew our business and why we were able to have a baby and be home, because we followed a plan. And I just think as a team, we've gotten really, really settled or satisfied with just hitting Success Club. And that is a wonderful, wonderful goal. But I just think we can do better. We have more of an impact if we're actually helping someone else. And the key to this is not, like, it's definitely a team effort. And that's something I learned, is I was like, I'm doing this for me. And it's like, that's not what it was about. And I learned that. And I hope you guys will take that nugget and not make it totally about yourself. Because when it's a selfish goal, it's not fun. But you have to have a personal goal, because because it actually influences other people's businesses, and it makes a difference for the people who want it. You're not going to push the people who don't. But I was just winging it, and I just, like, my goals would be like, I want to hit Success Club 10, but then I would hit 7 because I wasn't shooting big enough, and I wasn't actually thinking about how I was going to teach and train new people to have success. It was just kind of like, well, I'll just kind of go through the motions and set realistic goals. And that really keeps you in a state of settlement and complacency. And I don't think we're built for that. So
I really like the fact that I know that was a change this year, but that the people that just want to, like, continue to get Shakeology, I like that.
You meet them where they are, there's a difference. And I think that's important moving forward for the integrity of our business. So we don't force people to be coaches who don't want to be. And now, like, that, and that's what was happening is people felt crappy about it because they're like, they don't really want to be a discount coach. Like they'd rather just pay more. But we were sort of going, well, you should do this because it's better. But now it's kind of a wash money wise because they don't pay the coach fee. So keep them where they are, keep them happy and have a lifelong customer. You get more commission. That's where they're happy. So just keeping customers as customers and coaches as coaches, I think makes a lot of sense. And I'm really glad that they listened because that was the place that I found resistance was, this doesn't feel like the right thing for this person, but I wanted them to do it because the points in this, so I think that they're rewarding the customer experience, which is the most important thing. And 9 times out of 10, if you're really, really good to your customers and they're the right fit, they're going to want to coach anyway. So then when it's time, then they upgrade to be a coach and they kill it in their business. Yeah. So.
That's Hazel. Yep. Okay. No, I like it. It was. Okay. I was like, that's so nice. So.
It just gives you something to look for. Sorry, Sarah. What were you
I don't mean to interrupt. I was going to say it looks like Sarah D asked a question about customers from 2016 and 2017.
No, so coaches from 2016 and 2017 personally sponsored count, and then customers only from 2017. Okay, hold on. There's 3. So for Success Club, it's 2016 and 2017 coaches. For PSPV, personally sponsored personal volume, only 2017. And for CPV, customer personal volume, only 2017. Makes sense? Okay, so let me go back quickly before I forget to my screen because I have just some to-dos. Mama, she likes her checklists. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Print out the 2018 goal guide and download the Excel spreadsheet, and it's FAQ 2988. Then, I filled out my goals based on this, but then I went for a few more that were higher because I don't want to get complacent. So, where they said 3 coaches, I said I'm going to try to add 4, whatever. Then commit to never missing Success Club. That is the driver. That's the biggest thing, non-negotiable. Then here's what I did. I wrote out a list of my 2016 coaches that are personally sponsored, boom, boom, boom. My list of 2017 coaches in a separate list, and then my list of 2017 customers, because those are the people you're going to be tracking the most. And then, like I said, print out that elite thing or whatever, even if elite isn't the goal, if it's to increase, to make $30,000 this year in your business, seriously, you guys, if you do this, it will, and that's what I don't want to get stuck on the idea of if you don't want to be an elite coach, but tracking that whatever the goal is, these are the tangible steps to actually move there. So whatever your goal is, like I said, I printed out that elite thing and it was hanging all over my world and just constantly in the front of my mind. And if you don't have that many people from 2016, then it's a great year to start fresh and get some new coaches and start over and help them hit, you get to start fresh anytime. And there are lots of people I know that literally came into the business, end of the year before or in January, February of this year and hit Premiere in 1 year. So it's not like unreachable. And I think it's making it like hearing more stories and talking to more people that have hit it because it doesn't seem like this far off thing. Okay, there's more in the chat. Let me see the chat. Yes, honey.
Okay, I have one more question. Because you hear about these coaches that hit elite in a year or, however long it took them in this short freaking window. And you're like, what in the world? How long did it take you, I guess, to hit elite? And then, are these people just using this tool? Is this what they're doing? Is this just their driving force?
Okay, so the people, I know this gal who's been in the business 2 years and she's a 15-star diamond. She had a giant network before she started her coaching business and had lots of experience in business. And so when she started, she had an exact plan, I'm on a 15-star and I've done this 7 years. That is not, what is it? That's not the rule. That's the exception is those kind of people that come in and hit it in a year. And I'm saying that because it's exciting and you can go for Premiere. If you're at a diamond level or under that, I would go for Premiere. Try to go for 5-star. If you miss, whatever. But that is the exception, not the rule. It took me 5 years to get it and actually start really building in a way that was like created real income. So I sort of hate those stories because the word realistic isn't right, but it's not normal. They're freak shows, or they had, they paid for Google ads, or they did something crazy. And I think it's more, I think it takes 4 years to get this business built.
Okay. Well, Derek was like, it's kind of weird because you think like a lot of people when they come into it, they're like that Bonnie Engel video the other day was like, she's like, I'm in massive debt and I had to make this work. And he's like, why is everyone in debt when they get into this? And I'm like, like whatever, like debt happens, but I'm like, yeah, some people have to make this work. Like, and that is probably their motivating force.
They couldn't afford it. Yeah. And right. Sometimes I use that as an excuse for me because I'm like, well, like if I were homeless, I could go live with my parents, or like I'm fine and like we do okay. So I don't have a big enough why, but I'm like, my why has turned into like, if I don't tell someone else about this, like they don't get what I have, right. Or whatever it is. And so it always comes back to a really genuine, like, yeah, she was going to work because she had to. She was like, I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Same with Lindsay Matway. She was like $1 million in debt because of her daughter's health issues. And it's like, it's kind of hard to hear those stories because most of us we don't have those dramatic stories. So it's like finding the drama within your why that like actually pushes you and fires you up. And like for me, Elite was enough of a goal because I was like, that's what I want. Like I want to call it that. But if not, you just have to dig deeper. And it's hard when you're like, oh, well, I'm comfortable. But that is a trap to say, I have a house and I'm okay and I make okay money. And like, that's not good enough. Not that it's about money. It's about living your best life and having growth. And that's a really dangerous place to say, well, I'm pretty comfortable. And if I just make $600, that'll be okay. Instead of, why can't I do something great? Or what are you going to do with Sarah Robbins, who does Rock Your Network Marketing Business, that book, her goal was always she wanted to found a charity in Africa. And so that was her driver, and that took millions of dollars. So it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but I don't have that, but I have to really dig deep to find what my why is, because I'm like, well, it's really easy to slip into that. Well, we make okay money and we can pay our bills, and that's good enough.
Yeah. Well, I like what Sarah said about the money aspect, like that, it presents this, like you can have this lifestyle and then it doesn't happen in months or years. And then people are like, bye, I've been working too hard.
Well, and it's setting that expectation, which I think we do really good, because that happened to me for a long time. Because I think without meaning to, I was saying that, like I was like, you can do this and you can do like, because I was saying, here's where I'm going, but I wasn't there yet. And it's all about telling people expectations. Like I just told you guys, I think it takes 4 or 5 years to build this business. I don't think it takes a year. Like, and so if you say that, and if you set that expectation to people, like you are going to flop, you're going to fail a lot. I'm going to be here for you and we're going to have wins in between. But to actually build this, you have to be really, really consistent and work your ass off for 5 years. So yeah, I agree, Sarah. They do drop. Yeah. It's all about expectation. So, well, cool. I'm glad we got to get together. I hope this is helpful. And I think it's just important that we start spreading this lingo and like not just being like, I feel like I just teach too much basics, and you guys are all so smart and so capable, and there's no reason why we can't all do this. So, okay, keep me posted on your goal when you guys print them out, and like either send them to me or post them in the team page. I want to see, like, really dig into this. And I think it takes, if you need to watch that video over and over again, I know I did. I watched it like 7 times the first time that I was trying to figure it out. So, well, thank you for taking time from your day. I know that you guys are all busy and have lots of important things to do, but I really appreciate you, and I love you all so much. I don't even know who's on the phone. Oh, Nicolette, Sarah, Zuli, and then I don't know who the 864 number is, but hello. Okay. Guys.
It's Bailey.
Oh, hi. Hi, Pumpkin.
Hi.
Was that helpful? Was it hard to tell without the visuals, or could you see the visuals?
Yes, very hard.
Okay. Well, you'll have to
I'll go back and watch the video.
Okay. Perfect. All right, you guys have a great Saturday. Talk to you soon. Bye.